Hello, and welcome back to yet another retro channel. Okay, we are back for what will hopefully be the final installment in the TI-99 4A repair. Now, if you remember from the previous videos, we have a machine that won't boot up. It boots to a black screen with a random sound coming out of the sound generator. What that means basically is that somewhere in the first few steps of the startup process, it's failing. We have tested the power, and in the last video, we found a problem with the connector to the power board. In that video, I simply replaced the wires and hardwired the power into the power board. In the meantime, since the last video, I have replaced the power connector. This is not an exact replacement for the original. However, it was as close as I could get, partly because these pins are at 3.5 millimeters rather than the standard 2.54. So I got a new pin header at the right spacing, and I got some of these connectors, which are screw terminal, which I don't love, but they do get the job done and they're the right spacing. So now we have a good power connection. We also tested the clocks. We weren't originally getting the clocks. Now, in retrospect, that might have been because of the power issue that hadn't been identified yet at that point. But in any case, we pulled the 9904 clock generator chip and put a socket in. Unfortunately, the clock generator I had as a spare was the wrong model. It had two phases of divide by 4 clock dividers because it was made for a TI-99 or a machine that had a 48 megahertz clock. This one has a 12 megahertz clock and needs only a single stage of clock division. I didn't have another spare at that point. I do have spares now, but ended up being a moot point because I put the original 9904 back in, and whether because we were getting the clock problem because of the power issue or whether it was because of poor connections on the board, or possibly even when I did the desoldering, heating up the chip might have made it work again. But in any case, we now have our 4 12-volt and 4 5-volt clocks operating properly. We also have a good reset signal. So we tracked our problem down to the CPU. After we detected clocks and reset, I checked some more signals on the CPU, and when I got to the address bus, some of those were being held down halfway. They weren't reaching anything near 5 volts. So we pulled the CPU. I put in 2 rows of socket headers, the milled pin types, and we did some further testing. I had a CPU, a spare CPU, only to find out that when I put that in, none of the output signals on that CPU were doing anything. So I put back in the original CPU, and it was back to doing the exact same thing again. So it wasn't my soldering that had caused that problem. We do seem to have either a dead or a fake CPU there. So we were left at the point where I was going to have to order more CPUs. I've done that, and I have 2 CPUs that have come in. I ordered one from a domestic US seller and one from China, hopefully for the best chance of getting one that works. I also did a test in that video where I used a 470 ohm resistor to try to pull one of the address lines that was troublesome up to 5 volts, and that was successful. So it looks like our problem, at least one of our problems, is the CPU. Now, the CPU, when we replace it, if we get one that works, that might be the last problem. It might just boot up at that point. I don't know. If not, then we have to identify more problems. So this video could either be really, really short, or it could be long. So, like I said, we're at the point now where we need to go ahead and test one of the new CPUs. So we're going to test the domestic US one first. as that one has the best chance of being good. So we're going to hope that this CPU works. Now, this is one of the AMI 9900s. The one I got from China is an actual TI 9900. So we will see first if the domestic one works. I'm just going to get the pins lined up a little better. The other thing I did off camera was I took out those milled pin socket headers and replaced that with a proper 64-pin double wipe socket. So this should be much easier to get in and out this way than the trouble I had with the other CPUs and the other sockets. So again, the CPU on the 994A goes in with the notch facing to the left. Okay, now don't see any obviously bent pins. So let us give this a shot. And would you look at that? That CPU works, and that solved the problem. So this is going to be a pretty short video. I am going to, for completeness sake, try the China CPU and see if we got a good CPU from China. Let's pull this one out. And put in the China CPU. Again, no obviously bent pins. And we'll give this one a try. No. So let's pull and see if we bent anything. Okay. No, I'm not seeing any bent pins. I did put it in the right direction. Let's just try reseating it and see what happens. One more shot. Oh, well, you look at that. The China CPU is working as well. So, I don't actually have diagnostics to run on this thing. So what I'm going to do is I am going to try a game. So I need to grab, where's the keyboard? Where's the keyboard? And grab the keyboard. I'm going to put in the cartridge connector. This hasn't been cleaned yet, so I'm 100% certain that it'll work. We'll try it. And I did bring a cartridge up. This is TI Invaders. It's a pretty decent port of Space Invaders, or recreation of Space Invaders. It doesn't suck as much as some of the others I've seen. These, on the other hand, suck as much as any I've ever seen. These are TI's original joysticks. Now, let's see if we can get to Space Invaders. Oop, lost a key. Got a little sound issue going on for some reason. Yep, there's Space Invaders. Merely aggressive. Yeah, I thought collision detection was failing there for a moment. But no. This seems to be all working. Well, there you go. Like I said, this video was either going to be very long or very short, and it turns out it's going to be a short one. So, that being said, I think we're going to end it there. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the series on the TI, give me a like, click a little thumbs up. And if you have anything to say, if you want to complain about the video being too long or whatever, or too short, or whatever, leave me a comment in the comment section below. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out. Share the video out to as many folks as you think might enjoy it. And other ways to contact me, I have a Discord server. That information will be in the comments below, or in the description rather, below. I also have a Facebook group. You can contact me. I do really love interacting with you guys, so please feel free to reach out through any of those methods. I want to thank my supporters. You guys are great, and I really appreciate you. If you would like to support the channel, there are a few ways to do that. You can go to Patreon. That link will be in the description, and join there. You can also use Ko-Fi to send me a little something, or you can sign up as a YouTube channel member with the join button below. Again, that's greatly appreciated. Any of you who decide to support me, I can't tell you how much that means to me. And that'll be it for this video. For those of you who watched my last video, the All the Small Things video, if you didn't see, I actually I left a comment on this. I actually did just try again to get a hold of a VIC-20 to repair for you guys. I picked up a VIC-20 and a 1541 disk drive locally about 25 miles from me. Got them both for $50 and hoped that I would get a dead VIC-20 to work on, and that one just worked too. So I can't lose for winning. Most people will be happy about that, but me, I'm a little dissatisfied. And that will bring us to the end for the day. So everybody, be safe and stay well and have a great week. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you all very much. Talk to you later.